Morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Katie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So everyone watching today, this is Lucy Eden from...
Be in Your Element.
Tell us what Be in Your Element does, Lucy.
So Be in Your Element is an events company which provides wellness in the workplace. So that can be coming to your workplace, or it can be putting on an event for you outside of the workplace. But predominantly what's the most important thing in mind is to create a really fun and engaging time and opportunity for the team to connect within themselves to get an hour or two of wellness.
Why do you think wellness in the office is so important, Lucy?
Well, I think wellness in the office is important, and now more than ever, because of what we've all experienced over the last 18 months to 2 years. And I just think it's really quite a paramount time to really look in and ensure that we're spending enough time on ourselves, and obviously then as leaders on our team, to get the most out of our team members. And that can be really simple things like just giving people that happy hour, which is kind of a lovely thing now, a play on words, instead of it being a
It's not
free.
about cocktails now, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of going down the pub and having, like a free three drinks or whatever for the hour, it's about, well, maybe we can do something that in that hour where everyone really comes away feeling much better about themselves. And I think the other thing is mental health and wellness and all of that really important stuff would always normally be quite shifted down and not spoken about, and put a lid on it, if you like, and then that gets suppressed. And as we all know, that can only be suppressed for so long. So I think if on a more routine basis, weekly, monthly, anything like that, you can be inviting some wellness activities in the workplace, it just allows people to be in the now, I guess, and really deal with anything that might be suppressed.
I do love the idea of a happy hour, and now that's been reframed and repurposed. And it's not about just going down to the pub, which doesn't suit everybody, but it's just
Yeah,
about being happy and making your staff happy. I mean, I know more than most, because I make people happy with art, that happy people do their best work.
absolutely. And it really is. I mean, it's not just a saying, it is proven scientifically. Like, if you do invest in people, you will get better productivity, efficiency out of your team. And it's kind of, everything has money value to it, of course, and it is very much a good investment to do so, because later on down the line, if you don't do things like this, you're just not going to keep your staff, retain your staff, and
Mhm.
obviously have more people wanting to work for your company, because you look after them so well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you invest in your staff's happiness, they're more productive, and that's great for the company. And if you're having to recruit constantly because you've got unhappy staff who leave, think of all the costs that you have involved in recruiting.
Absolutely. And again, with mental health, if it gets to the point where people are getting really stressed at work, they don't want to be there, maybe they get signed off sick. So ultimately, if people are thinking about the money in the bank, that's going to cost you too, with, people being on sick leave and things like that. So yeah, I just think it's always worth kind of prevention, putting some lovely little things in, some activities or something where you can keep everybody happy.
Well, there's a lovely statistic out there at the moment that the NHS did, I think, that says doing something creative for 1 hour a day increases your mental health wellness by, I think it's something like 42%.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us about the fun things that your company offers for happy hour?
Okay. So yeah, there's loads of different things that we offer, and that's what Be in Your Element is all about. We are really alternative with our holistic offerings in the workplace, so that it can be really fun and engaging. Because we know things like yoga, for instance, you might not necessarily be the most flexible or strong or cardiovascular kind of person. So actually, maybe doing it sort of with drum and bass, 70s music, 80s music. We've got a disco yoga. We've got a lady that does it with puppies. So we bring puppies in and you can have cuddles while you're doing sort of
Oh,
like your downward dog and salute to the sun. Oh, it's such good
literally
fun.
downward dog with a dog. That's
With a dog.
amazing.
Yeah, I didn't get much yoga done when I tried it. There was a puppy that just kind of came to me and we had cuddles for most of it. And that was my happy hour. I came out of there very happy. And all different walks of life came into that room and went out really smitten and happy. Men, women, it's a great thing to do. So puppy yoga is one of them. We've actually got a lovely lady that does rap yoga,
Mm.
and that's really cool too, because you're sort of doing these moves and they're not too intense, but she does rap while she's doing it, and their affirmations. So as you're doing it, you can say to yourself, I am strong, I am able, all of that good stuff. And it's really sort of fun with that music and that vibe. So yeah, we've got really fun things, even like with yoga, we just turn it on its head and offer alternative options. Then also something that's really well received for people that might want us to bring it into the workplace, actually into your offices, is we've got silent disco, silent yoga, silent meditation. So you put on the headsets, and this can just really help people get into the element, is what we like to call it, into the zone, and really get immersed into that hour of either the yoga or the mindfulness, etc. So that's kind of a fun alternative as well with it. So especially when you sort of maybe open your eyes and then see how everyone else is doing, and everyone's a bit more different to yourself at that moment in time. So that's all good fun. Um, Also, a really lovely thing that we do, and it raises vibrations really well for the workplace, that if you're doing it as a team building, is a drumming circle. Now,
Ooh.
I've done this as well, and it's brilliant. And a lot of people do it, and you don't have to have coordination, you don't need to be musically talented, all different walks of life again. And that's what's so great about these activities. And it's so high in the vibrations, and people get really into it that some people can get up and dance. So it can be however you want it to be, and it can be really leaving very high energy. So that's quite a lovely uplifting one and really fun. Also, we've got some really fun things for Christmas at the moment. So we're doing lots of things like Christmas wreath making, so traditional things like that, and candle making. We've got some macrame that you can learn, and some artwork that you can learn, and do maybe some artwork in the workplace, kind of like it's a bit what you obviously offer, Katie, because you're joining the tribe, aren't you, and offering
I
your
am.
workshop. We spoke about the lovely idea of people maybe making a section of art and then putting it all together that stays in the office for you all to kind of walk past every now and again and be proud that as a team we kind of created this masterpiece. And you can do that in a seasonal way, so it's very Christmas orientated, or something that can sit there all year round. And then the other thing that's really important to us, and is just a fun thing to think about, is location, 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 right? So with
Oh,
something like
so where do people normally do these things?
well, this is it. So with something like yoga, we can bring it to the workplace. So we've got clients that have a venue space within their workspace, so that's brilliant. So that always works. But then, say you wanted to do yoga or morning mindfulness, and you're on a rooftop in London and the sun is just rising,
Mm.
or you're on a beach. So we've got all of these amazing venues that we work with. And we like to just offer that to our clients. So obviously, depending on what you're after and budget dependent, we can bring it to you, or we can bring it somewhere close to you. And there's loads of really eco-friendly, sustainable hotels and things where they've kind
Mm.
of got that garden inside as well. So if you can't make it outside, especially in winter time, it's something that we've got a really cool space where you can almost have that outside feeling inside.
But can people just use their boardrooms if it's large
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah, so we also do it on a virtual and a hybrid platform. So we
Oh,
actually do it so, like ourselves sitting here, which again is always really interesting, because I think people might think, oh, I've got to go, I don't know, down the road for 30 minutes to get into the zone to do my yoga or my mindfulness, my meditation. All of that good stuff can happen right here. So
mm.
we have our practitioners that can offer it even in a seated, because we've got laughter yoga as well, and eye yoga, face yoga, all of that good stuff. And we are all in front of like in front of the screen and our TVs for kind of chilling out in the evening. So we do spend a lot of time on the screen. So if you can get out and do something in nature, I'm a big kind of warrior for that, to even go out and have a walk.
Mm.
If you can't, and it's brought to you in this virtual sense, which we do, it's lovely to then just show you what you can do in this space, to then recreate it maybe every Monday or every Wednesday lunchtime, whatever kind of works for you, to get into a bit of a routine of bit of self-love for yourself each week.
Now, office managers are usually the ones who are tasked with organizing these things. And sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming, or maybe they feel like they've just done everything under the sun. They've gone to the normal places and done the regular stuff that everyone offers. What
Mhm.
tips can you offer an office manager who has to organize this for the team?
Okay, so it's my 5 Ps with this one, and it's purpose, planning, people, passion, and perfection.
Mm.
And so what I mean by that is purpose. It's the first thing you need to look at, is why are you doing the event? Who's your target audience? How do you want them to feel? And it is literally from as soon as you send out the first correspondences to them being live at the event and your feedback form, that whole journey, what do you want that to be for them? Always keeping the purpose in mind at the first instance. Planning is obviously an obvious one, but what I mean by that is, it's never too early to start. So
Mm.
if you've got something that you're thinking of, the earlier you can start planting the seed, the better with that, for sure. And then people, it's just, I think with office managers, I mean, I'm an events manager and I've been doing it for 15 years, and I really do understand it from an office manager's point of view as well, is that you get tasked with so much on top of all the other stuff you're meant to do.
Yeah.
So delegate. There's people around you, understand what's the strengths and weaknesses, and get people surrounding you to help you with it. You
Ah.
can't do it alone. You really can't. So try and make that opportunity to get some people involved to help you for
Yes,
sure.
because I'm sure people want to be involved with a little wellness committee or the events committee or something like that, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And there's loads of companies that are doing that. There's some that are very well established and have wellness committees for years. So this isn't new to them, but there's also people that are now thinking about it and they're implementing it. So it's really, really good that there's all of that good stuff going on, and that's something that they're thinking, every month, let's do this for a wellness, or
Mm.
every week. So it's lovely. And there's office managers. If anybody ever needed advice with that, I'm more than happy to give free advice, if you want to contact me. But the last two was passion and perfection. And passion, it's like anything, isn't it? If we are passionate about what we do, it is all over our face, it's all over our energy. And the people that we're obviously giving this service to, running this event for, they'll feel it, they'll get all of that good stuff and good vibrations from it too. So just to create extra magic, if you can just be passionate about what you're doing, then that will always come across really well to those that are receiving the event experience.
I like the word magic.
I know. Well, magic is it. Magic is my word, especially for events, because I just think there's a lot of magic in events, because you're always asked to be doing the ridiculous. You're always asked to be doing something that's pretty much impossible, but somehow we make it work. Always, always. So hats off to people in events and office managers doing the role as well, for sure. And perfection probably is what we all have in us anyway. People in this kind of role are perfectionists. We like to keep organize other people, so it's already instilled within us. But my term with perfection, how I wanted to share it with you, is I don't actually believe that there's anything out there that's perfect. Because what is perfect to everybody? Everybody has a different way of looking at that. But I think if we all strive for perfection, we're always going to do our best. So I think if you always keep perfection in mind with your 5Ps, then you'll just keep your eye out for those little details. Like you could be on site and the event is just about to go, and at that point you're thinking, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And if you've got that in your mind that you're still looking for perfection, you'll
Mm.
see all the little things that necessarily nobody else would see, and that makes a big difference for some people in the audience and their space to enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. And going back to planning, of course, if you are the office manager and you've planned everything, maybe with your people, then the
Yep.
burden is kind of taken off you to be perfect on the day, because you should have planned everything to a T. And then the office manager gets to enjoy the event too and relax for the
Yeah.
happy hour, not worry
Yeah.
about everybody
And
else.
yes, yes, yeah, exactly. If you do all of your P's, then exactly that. You can be sitting there sipping your cocktail, thinking, "Yeah, I did this,"
Or doing downward dog with a puppy.
or doing downward dog with a puppy. Yeah, for your happy hour. Whatever you need that
Brilliant.
time.
Lucy, thank you so much for today and for sharing your tips. Remind us the name of your company.
So it's Be in Your Element, and we can be found on our website is yourelementevents.com, because it's all about you being in your element. So what is your element? And do find us there for more details. And what we call our wellbeing warriors are our practitioners in their field. So your yoga teachers, mindfulness, life coaches, etc. We've got a tremendous amount of amazing wellbeing warriors. So yeah, go check it out.
Brilliant. Well, I shall certainly be booking something in, and I hopefully you'll be booking art and offices in soon to do something like a creative Christmas workshop with some
Yeah,
crafting going on too.
definitely.
Thank you so much for sharing what you do. I can really see the passion in wanting to bring wellness to the office, and I think what you do is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me and for the chance to speak to your lovely audience. Thank you very much.
Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon.